Wow. Interesting. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Good to see you all. Uh, Welcome to the live. Yet another day. If you're watching this video back, thank you so much for always watching. Thank you for even if you just stumbled on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yet another day. Today is on Wednesday. Wow, the week is literally moving. Okay, and today is April Fool's Day, the 1st of April. Happy new month, you all. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I hope you're staying focused because we are just 4 months in the year. I know it feels like this year have been like 3 years, but literally we are just getting started. We are only in the 4th month, which means we still have 8 months to figure it out. We still have 8 months to do all the things that we wanted, all the goals that we did set for this year. So welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about friendship breakups hurts more than relationships. Okay, why? Okay, so that's what we are gonna be talking about. When you join in, let me know where you're watching me from. Kindly like, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. When we talk about friendships, okay, most of the time no one talks about relationship breakups. Oh, nobody talks about friendship breakups. We always talk about my name says I'm too early. No, you're not. You're right on time. Thank you so much for tuning in. How are you doing? I just started. Yeah, you're just 1 minute in. I feel so good to have you here. How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay. We're gonna be talking about friendships. There's so much that it entails when it comes to friendships, and most of us never talks about how it feels like to have like friendship breakups and stuff like that, because we are always so stuck with relationships. But there is another side to this. There's the friendship. So we cannot talk about relationships if you're not talking about friendships also. mm, Okay, my name says, so happy to be here too. I'm doing okay. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, it excites me when I see people looking forward to like joining me in. Maybe because they enjoy the show. Maybe they enjoy what we normally talk about. And I know the incredible topics that we usually talk about. They're literally hilarious. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about friendship breakups. Friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. You can give your experiences. Let me know. Have you ever been in a friendship and it just, God, wow, this television started playing itself, and the friendship just ended for absolutely no reason? Have you ever been in such a place? So that's what we're going to be talking about. But before then, we are going to be waiting for some people to get in here, so you can ask me absolutely anything. And people who are going to be watching back the show, kindly make sure you comment. Let us know your opinions, even if it's after the video is already streamed. Okay. Okay, so let me type for myself. Have you ever had uh have you ever had a friend switch up? Switch up. Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay. My name says, so happy to be here too. I'm doing okay. I'm doing great. My name says, I've had a few friendship breakups. Okay. So are they usually like like you guys are confronting each other, you guys are here and they're fighting, or are they usually like, you know what, we are not serving each other anymore, good, have a nice life, you know, enjoy yourself. Okay guys, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. We are talking about friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. Why? Okay, we are gonna be talking about friendships. Let me know, have you ever been in a friendship and it just ended for no reason? Maybe you guys didn't agree on one or two the reasons. My name says some hurt, but most were MEA. I don't know what that means. I'm literally old school. Okay, I think for me, I have, okay, right now I'm literally trying not to become friends with people on purpose. Okay, because I am so sick and tired of like making friends and then out of nowhere, and now I'm having all these enemies. So literally right now I'm trying not to make friends on purpose. Okay, so the friends that I already have, okay, those are the ones that I'm retaining. When somebody goes missing, that's well and good, forget about them. Okay, uh I think there are different types of friendship breakups. There is one that like maybe you said something about them and then they go missing. So there's another one where people are literally there's another one where people are just literally competing with you, like this, we are friends and I try to show you that I'm happy for you, but literally I'm not happy. Deep down I'm not happy. I'm out there snitching, I'm out there gossiping, I'm out there talking about you. And so there are those type of friends like where like it ends with like confrontation. Okay, and there's just others where like you just drift apart, you just grow apart, you move to different cities, and just that's it, you move to different cities and you continue on with your life. So I think there's different types of friendship breakups, these different types of friendships. So let me know, did yours just end like, oh, we just drifted apart, or was it like a confrontation thing? My name says most work because of money. Friendship and money never mix. You know, let me tell you. When I was in university, there's this lady. She was my friend, and at some point we started living together. So she needed some money at some point, okay, and I literally had that money and I was not using it at that point. So I gave her the money and I was like, she was gonna give me back. We agreed on what time she was gonna give me back my money, okay. But when it came to time to give me my money, like she was just treating me like silent treatment, she's not talking and stuff like that. And that friendship from there on was never the same again. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. We are talking about friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. Why? We always talk about relationship, but we never talk about the other aspect that is as important as relationships in life, which is friendships. So let me know, have you ever had a friendship breakup that literally changed your life, literally changed how you see people? So let me know. We're just getting started. So when you tune in, kindly like, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Spose Until says, girl, you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no friends. How do you know that? If I ain't got no friends, okay? I have friends who are literally, who literally know almost everything about me, okay? So, and also I have friends that I've made through this channel, like the YouTube stuff. Like I have people who show up here every day because they literally like me, okay, you know. So nobody prepares us for how like okay, you know what, first warning, okay, yesterday you said something and okay, let me just leave you alone, okay. We always talk about relationships, but friendships, that's some of the deepest pain. That's where some of the deepest pain come from. I think when it comes to relationship, you expect you can get into relationships and some point you guys move apart, like you guys go in different directions. We expect that, okay, but we never expect that like you grow apart when it comes to friendships. It's like when you have friends, you're expecting that they're gonna be there in every phase of your life, but when they are not, or when they turn on you, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying. So have you ever had a friend switch up on you or just disappear with no explanation? Like you literally didn't offend each other, you didn't upset each other, it's just like you guys just moved on. You know, I think I can handle that. It's literally so painful. it's literally so painful when like you guys grow apart, or like you move to different cities and you can't see each other eye to eye anymore. It's literally upsetting, or it's literally so unfair. But I think that's the best friendship breakup, because at the end of the day you just grew apart. No fights, no drama, no arguments, just vibes changing, like you're not there for each other anymore, and that's just what that is. Okay, so I think I prefer that other than the confrontational one. My name says friend betrayal is worse than partner betrayal. Yeah, it literally is, because partners, you meet them, they're supposed to leave you at some point, maybe, okay? But when it comes to friend, you want those people to be loyal to you. You want them you want them to want you. You want them to like just be there for you through every season of your life. You don't expect like your friends to be betraying you, you know. So we friends don't last like we expect. Okay, I think we do have that whole thing of like expecting that friends are gonna last for a lifetime, like we are gonna have them for the whole of our entire life. But it doesn't happen like that, or it doesn't work like that. So people grow, change, and move differently. Not everything is meant to stay. So some people were only meant for a phase, not your whole life. And that's just what it is. When it comes to friendship, I think I also have that mentality, like when I have friends, they're supposed to be there for my whole entire life. But you know what, it's all about a season in your life. Percent, he says maybe it was your hair
probably
that
the therapist in me
wow
wonders if this may
okay, percent, maybe it was your hair that threw everything off. What's wrong with you? Like what did my hair do to you? Okay, like some of you are so obsessed with how you want to see people. Like I am just a black person who likes my hair just the way it is. Okay, why were you not saying something when I was doing when my hair was braided? Okay, you know what, if you just don't want me to block you, literally leave me alone. Okay, leave me alone. Okay, Lynn Hendricks says hi. Hi Lynn, welcome to the live. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. When you join in, let me know where you're watching me from. Like the live, share the love, subscribe. We're talking about friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. So let me know some of the friendships that you've been, that like you felt thrown off from the word go. Lynn says, how is it going? It's going great. It's going great. Yeah, I was just being thrown off by that idiot who is here literally just speaking some nonsense. Okay, I don't know what you guys feel about like black people being able to wear their natural hair as is. Okay, because honestly, she, like, I don't know if it's a he or she, but whoever it is, he likes me to have to literally have my hair braided. Okay, but who said that black people cannot wear their hair out? Okay, you cannot come here and tell me like how I'm gonna wear my hair out. Okay, literally. And that's the problem with like black people to other black people, I don't know what race they are, is like you're just so obsessed with like having you're just so obsessed with like having us. If I'm okay with the way I am, like I don't want to straighten my hair, what's your problem? Move on. Dumbass. Sorry. Zach says, bro, shut up. Spose until, okay? My name says, thanks for removing whoever that was, okay? Lynn says, that is okay. Black people are okay. Okay, bro, who said that? Lynn says, the fact is we are humans, no color. Okay, we do have color. There is color. You cannot move past that. Like literally, we have color. We have black, we have white, we have whatever. But it's upon an individual to decide what they want to look like. Like you can't come and project your standards on me. Shame on you. Moses Mandu, hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the live, guys. When you join in, let me know how you're doing. Kindly like, subscribe. We are talking about friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. Why? Friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. Why? So I was talking about some friends are just meant to be for a specific season. Okay, when you're in like primary school or elementary school, you meet friends there, you make friends there, okay? You will be lucky if you still talk to those friends when you're in high school, okay? Because that phase is over and it's time to move on. When you move on to the next level, it becomes different, okay? When you go to high school, you make friends who are for that season. When you move forward, those friends are left in that season, okay? So I think that's something that all of us are not ready for. Some people are only meant for a phase, not your whole life. Some people are just meant for a phase or not your whole life. Lynn says, but I mean, it's okay to be black or white, okay? That one I agree. It's okay to be black or white. There's no problem with that, okay? And I keep seeing, especially black people who dislike themselves projecting their standards on people, you know. So there's another thing when it comes to friendships: fake support and hidden competition, okay? Friends who support you but feel weird when you win. Like people who just want to support you to become a failure. Like as far as you're not willing, that's what they are. Like they are friends with you. But the moment you start winning, it's like now we are having a problem, okay? There are people who fall in love with the version of you that's a failure. Some friendships only work when you're not doing better than them, okay? Lynn says my birthday is in 21 days. Oh, so it's supposed to be on 22nd. Your birthday is on April 22nd. Happy birthday in advance. Wow, hopefully we shall remember and sing a song for you. So I think for some people, or like with some friendships, energy changes when you level up, okay? People literally do not want you to level up. People want you to remain a mediocre. People want you to remain at the same level. As far as they're doing better than you, as far as like you're just down there and they're up there, that's just completely fine, okay? Liz says hi Liz, good to see you, welcome to the live. Let me know how you're doing. My name is Wamboy. We are talking about friends, okay? Let me know some of the friendship betrayals that you felt over the years, okay? This thing is playing itself. Lynn says it's 7:17 here. Wow. Okay, I think we are just we are 1 hour ahead. Here it's 8:17 exactly. We are literally, so you're in Netherlands. We are literally 1 hour ahead. So some people clap for you, but not from the heart. Okay, some people clap for you. You're there celebrating something. Some people are just there to pretend as if they are clapping, but they really are not, okay? They really do not care about you. They are not clapping. They're not trying to clap. They're just there like clapping like this, okay, when you're winning, because that doesn't make them feel good, okay? So I have a question right here. So are friendships actually real, or are most of them just temporary? I think I might have to type. JR Gaza says hi JR, good to see you, welcome to the live. How are you doing? Have you ever been in friendships and it never ended well, or like have you ever felt like your friends are not being happy for you? What hurts more, friendship betrayal or relationship betrayal? Today I might have to type for myself. I'm not seeing Dimas on the chat. Guys, welcome to the live. Wow, need to keep going. JR with your whole thing. If you sent me 30 million, where would you send it to? Kasim says, are you Muslim? No, I'm not Muslim. I'm not Muslim, okay? Welcome to the live. Feel free to let me know how you're doing. We are talking about friendship breakups. Friendship breakups hurt more than relationship. Why? Okay, friendship breakups are just hurt more. Okay, today is April Fool's Day. You are allowed to say anything, or you are allowed to. friendship breakups hurt more than relationships. Why? And we have a question on the screen. Are friendships actually real, or are most of them just temporary? Okay, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think friendships are real as far as you're playing small. Okay, as far as you are on the same, as far as you're on the same class as the people that you're being friends with, that's just okay. Okay, that's okay with your friends. But as far as you're trying to level up, that's where the real problem comes in. People can be friends with you as far as you're on the same economic class. When you start doing better than them, they really don't want you anymore. Okay. Moses Bantu says, I dislike having to admit this, but I'm the friend who simply disappears on people. People are tiresome. So when I get fed up, I walk away. It's wrong, but easier. Okay, oh wow. And you know what? I see that perspective because recently, right now, I'm trying not to be making friends because most of the time, it's just like you're bringing chaos into your life. You just because people are literally a lot. Okay, people are literally a lot to handle. So I'm like, the friends that I have right now, if they disappear on me, I'm literally not gonna have friends anymore because first of all, it's so difficult to make friends, not to mention to retain the friendships, to make effort to initiate things. You know what I'm saying? So literally I do see you, Moses. So but why do you disappear? Why do you disappear? Kasim says you should read about Islam, the truth. May Allah give you hidayah. Okay, let me tell you one thing that you might not know about me. My best friend in campus, or like even she's my friend till today. She was Islam. I know so many things about Islam, but okay, but you know what? Shoving the religion down my throat is not gonna work. JR Gaza says, I used to live in Nigeria. Okay. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Lit says, hello, where are you watching me from? Let me know. We have a question right here. Are friendships actually real, or are most of them just temporary? Okay. Are friendships real? Are they even real? Okay. To say the least. Are friendships even real, to say the least? This stuff is like playing itself. Ooh. Okay. So another aspect is outgrowing friends. Okay, different times you have different mindsets, different goals, different lifestyles, depending, first of all, you might even grow up in the same neighborhood, but at the end of the day, you guys are not gonna be the same because your experiences, your families shape who you become. So the mindset being, first of all, that's one of the ways that literally you kind of like grow apart from your friends. And then after you grow apart, sometimes you might feel guilty for moving on. Okay, you might feel guilty for wanting a different life. You might feel guilty for moving to a different city. You know what I'm saying? Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. Let me know, have you ever outgrown friends? Have you ever outgrown friends? Have you ever felt betrayed in your friendships? Okay. So let me know your experiences. Oh, Vicky, welcome to the building. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're watching me from. So I might ask a question. Is outgrowing someone growth or betrayal? Like the friendship doesn't work anymore and you just want to keep moving. Okay. Vicky says, hi Womboy and everyone. Hi to you, Vicky. Good to see you. Welcome to the live. So we're talking about friendships, okay? Because I do believe most of us have been in friendships. Have it worked out? For some people it hasn't, but for some people it has, okay? So what makes friendships not work out? And does that even feel like a friendship betrayal kind of like feels worse than a relationship betrayal? Or what do you think in your opinion? Okay? So is outgrowing someone growth or betrayal, in your opinion? Is outgrowing someone growth or betrayal? Ian, welcome to the building. Ian says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Wow, good evening. Out here, it's good night. or maybe it's good evening. Okay, good evening to you, Ian. How are you doing? Have you ever been in friendships but then you just felt like it's not working anymore? Have you ever felt like you've had friendship betrayals? Why do you think friendships don't work? Okay, personally, I think I'm going to give my personal experiences with friendships. Okay, you know, first of all, I think as far as you're not doing good in life, you're gonna have friends. As far as where are you, in which country? Kenya. I'm Kenyan. Welcome to the live, guys. My name is Wamboi. I was born and raised in Kenya. Okay, so according to my opinion, or like my experiences, I think as far as you're not doing well in life, you're always gonna have friends. Okay, but the moment you start winning, it's either you look for friends in that area that you're winning, otherwise you're just gonna have enemies. Okay, it's trying to be friends. Okay, you're just gonna have enemies. So I think, according to my experience, I have had friends, especially people who we are sharing the same type of hobbies. Maybe we are in the same class, maybe because we are doing something that is similar, we share something in common. But when that thing ends, or like we're not doing that thing anymore, it's like, why are we staying friends? Okay, so another way that I've seen, like something that whenever like I have had a major change in my life, especially something that levels me up, I kind of lose friends. Okay, because uh Ian says we only say goodnight if you're about to sleep. Oh, did you check my time zone? Okay, you know, English is not my first language. It just came with the boat. Okay. So I think the other time that I normally have friends is like when we are doing almost the same in life, but whenever I level up, I lose those people. Not because I want to, but because they are not willing to like to meet me at my level, or like to go up with me, or maybe because they liked it when I was struggling, or like when I'm doing worse than them. Okay, so that's the question that brings up the question for me, like are friendships, okay, let me click on this, are friendships actually real, or most of them just temporary? Okay, uh Ian says you're very good in English. I know I am. But that doesn't change that my first language is not English. I might speak English the whole day, because at this point I speak English the whole day. Uh, I might speak other languages during the day, but I literally speak English the whole day. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change how I think. I think in my mother tongue and I translate it in my head so that I can speak. Okay, even in my dreams, like when I'm dreaming, right now, I think at this point I'm dreaming in English, because I have now been speaking English like consistently for a long time. Uh, so the other point, or like why I believe that friendships don't work anymore, is one-sided friendships. You're the one who is reaching out, you're the one who is messaging, you're always the one who is checking in, you're always the one who is organizing dates, you're always the one who is organizing meetups, you're always the one who is going to their place to check up on them. But it's never reciprocated. And when you stop doing that, when you stop checking on those people, when you stop showing up, the friendship just dies. Okay, so if you stop trying and the friendship dies, was it ever real? Was the friendship ever real? Or did you just build a fantasy in your head of like what's just going on? So that's another thing, and I think most people do agree with me. Like one-sided relationships, you're the one who is checking. Let me tell you, right now, and my friends know people, because right now I think I only have 2 friends. Okay, if you don't call me, I call you. I'll call you one time, and then I'll give you another benefit of doubt and call you again. Uh, Okay, but if I call you like 3 times and you never call me back, you shall never hear from me again. You know what? We can just move on. Everybody can just go on with your life. Never mind, because I'm not gonna be calling you every other time. I am not the one who is in need. Like we both wants to be friends, so there have to be equal. What is it called? There has to be equal efforts when it comes to the friendships. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. Good to see you all. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly like, subscribe, so that you can join the family on here. We are talking about friendships. Okay, why does friendships most of the time never work? Are they even real? Okay, let me read. Ian says, do you say I know that I'm good to To who says to you, you're very good in English? Do you say, I know that I'm good? To who says to you, you're very good in English? Okay. Okay, I know it feels like I'm praising myself, but okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Okay, Naomi Bliss says, do you play Minecraft? No, no. You want to hook me up? You want to hook me up with some games? No, I have never played Minecraft. What is it? What is it about? Can you maybe fill me in? Fill me in. Okay. So I was talking about one-sided friendships, and the reason why I think friendships never work, because most of the time it's usually one person who is literally putting in the work, and the other person is just like, oh, can you just leave me alone? They're not saying it out loud, but literally they do not care. So one thing that my friends do know, okay, one thing that my friends do know, if I call you 3 times and you never call me back, you shall never hear from me again, because at this point I am so sick and tired of being the one who is like chasing people. I cannot be chasing men and be chasing friends. I have to choose my battle, and I choose to chase men. Okay, because first of all, and also another thing, a non-negotiable for me at this point with friendships, if we are competing, I literally don't want to be friends, because the moment we are competing, we can literally not be friends. I cannot. And if I have to feel like I cannot tell you when I'm succeeding at something or when I'm doing good at something, like because I'm worried, or that might raise an insecurity on your side, then it's like, are you really a friend? Okay, are you really a friend? Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. Kindly like and subscribe. We are talking about friendships. Okay, have you ever been in friendships and you are like, what am I even doing? Like, like, you just want to leave it alone. Okay, while I understand some friendships we just grow apart, like we don't care about each other anymore, I also see the other side where like friendships, it's like an equal effort. Okay, so let me know, have you ever felt like you have friends who are not matching the energy, like you're the one who is putting all the work, and the other person is not even trying. They're not even trying, for Christ's sake, not trying at all. Okay, okay, so another thing, there's some people who literally want you to be friends with them as far as they are helping you. And the moment, because sometimes I usually wonder, like, when it comes to friendships, if you're only interested in being friends with me is like helping me, or like feeling like you're helping me so that you can feel better about yourself because you're doing great than me, when we get to the other side, why do these friends usually, like, they leave? Okay, so I do believe that some people are only loyal to the version of you that needed them, and when you don't need these people anymore, they are willing to keep walking, they are willing to keep going. Literally, they are not trying to stop. Okay, uh guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. We are talking about friendships. Have you ever outgrown friendships? Have you ever felt like, this is not working anymore? Especially for us young adults. I'm just 23 years old, and I can tell you for sure, like, I have made friends and maybe we are not in contact anymore. Okay, so are we the problem, or what's going on? Or is it a phase that you have to pass through? Okay, are we the problem? Like, are we not trying to be friends? Are we not trying? Are we not good people, or what's going on with us? Okay, maybe the real question is, are we losing friends, or are we finally seeing them clearly? Are we seeing them for who they are? So maybe that's what the real question is. Okay, do we literally have friends, or like, uh, are we finally seeing them for who they are? Vicky says, I grew up learning the hard way that friendships is like clothes or shoes with different sizes. Do you remember your favorite clothes or shoes you loved so much but they didn't fit you anymore? Do you remember your... God, I don't. Okay? I literally, okay, are you talking about the ones that I still have now, or the ones that I've outgrown? Okay? Ian says, if I'm the one who calls and checks on you and you're not doing that to me, so I should be open to you and get your attention to what's going on, and also to look directly into your eyes to see your reaction. Okay, let me tell you, around the time that I did graduate from university, and my stories are usually about university most of the time because that's what I relate to. Okay, I kind of like tie a lot of my personality to that because I think that's who I am, or like that's the time that I've known myself. So around the time that I graduated, or like when I finished school, it was just fine. I had friends, and that was that. Okay, so we actually lost friends after we finished school. When you finish school and you're waiting for graduation, you just go in separate directions. So definitely I was ready for that because I knew we are not gonna be going in the same direction, which means we are gonna lose friends, and I was ready with that. So the most surprising part was when I graduated. Okay, let me tell you, when I graduated, I lost friends. Not even people who we were schooling, people who were friends with me from, I don't know, centuries or decades. Not centuries, I'm not that old. Okay, I literally lost friends. I don't know if the problem was the fact that people didn't expect that I was gonna make it to the graduation. People didn't expect that I was gonna finish school. When I finally did, when I finally did, God, almost everybody who was trying to pretend like they like me, they like my accomplishments, I just saw them for who they are, looked them in the eyes, and I saw who they were. And I haven't been friends with so many people after that because I realized, wow, you like the version of me that literally was going to fail. And when you realize that I was not gonna fail, it's like now you have a problem. Okay, so I see what Ian you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, yeah, looking them in the eyes and seeing who they are. So what Vicky talks about, the outgrowing one. Okay, the Vicky is kind of like comparing friendships with clothes. Sometimes you just outgrow them, they don't fit anymore. It's not like they were bad clothes, it's just like they're not your type anymore. They don't fit you anymore and you have to get rid of them. So I literally see that, but I think that's the worst heartbreak that you can ever give anybody who you're friends with. Like the walking away, there's no goodbye, like you didn't offend each other, it's just walking away, silence. That one kills you because you always wonder what happened. Okay, what did I say wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? Did I offend you? You always wonder. Like the silent walking away, I I don't think it's the best way to like end a friendship. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. We're talking about friendships. So send in your thoughts. What you think about friendships? Have you ever been friends? Especially for us who are young adults. Even if you are a grown adult, you can tell us. Does it get better when it comes to friends when you keep growing? Bulelo, wow, welcome to the live. Good to see you once more time. Yeah. Says, yeah, it hurts so much. It's like a needle and a nail. Okay, I think he meant it hurts, like it's painful. Ian says, when you call me while I'm at work, you shouldn't expect that I'm going to be able to be with you. Okay, and I'm not gonna, if you're friends with me, I know, of course, if you're friends, you've told me that you normally go to work. So, am I mad for calling you during the day? No, I will not be calling you at those hours when I think you're working. I might text you, not hoping that you're gonna respond right away. So, what I mean is, if you saw, like, I can call you, you don't respond, okay? And that's okay. You are my friend. So I call you and you don't respond. I am expecting that when you get home or when you get to a place where you can talk, you're literally going to contact me. That's what I'm expecting. You're literally going to contact me. So you, as my friend, if you don't contact me and days pass by and you still don't contact me, then it's like, are we gonna be friends anymore? No, 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 thank you. Guys, welcome to the live. Kindly like, subscribe. Respi says, watching from Sacramento, California. Oh, welcome to the building. Welcome to the building. Christopher Larson says, hi. Hi, Christopher. Have you ever outgrown friends? Do you feel like right now, these days, friendships are just different? Okay, Moses says, I've seen friends win the lottery and suddenly they start talking down to everyone like they are financial genius or a job promotion, and now they are business experts. They drive friends away. Okay, and also this that I think everybody out here, and you guys are gonna agree with me, even you and I, we always look for people to look down on. Okay, we always look for people to look down on. Okay, so sometimes you're just keeping that friend so that you can have somebody to look down on. I used to have a friend, and like we were really friends, and her whole entire thing was always about like maybe telling you that you're doing that wrong. Oh no, you're not doing it the right way. Like she was a relationship therapist. She was everything. You everything that you might go through in life. She knew the answers. Okay, but it's always when you are uh, with other people or with other friends. That's when she wants to give her two pennies, or she will even bring up something that you're not even willing to talk about. She will bring up something just so that she can put you down and she can be seen as better. So those are the type of friends that, like, okay, that one we can understand. You literally outgrew each other. Ian says, so why did you get upset last Sunday when I didn't reply to your call? Ian, we do know that it's April Fool's Day. Okay, no? Okay. Christopher Larson says, you know about how I can help you after I win lottery. You know about how I can help you after I win lottery. If you were literally friends with this person, like, why would you cut them off? Okay, but I think this question was directed to Moses Mandu. But you know what? If you were friends with this person, ah, why are you trying to talk down on them? You are literally on the same level. It's just luck. Yesterday we were talking about does hard work yield success anymore, and we were talking about luck. Some people is not like they are better than us. It's not like they are doing better than us. It's just like you're just lucky. And that's something when it comes to lottery. It's not like you are any better. It's just like uh yeah, it's just like you're just lucky. Okay. You know about her. Vicky says those type of friends you talking. Sorry. Okay, those type of friends you talking. Okay, and you know what? Not to sit here and look like I'm not a bad friend. Okay. Ferry Hugh says, go to work. Can you give me some work? Can you employ me, sir? Okay. Not to sit here and like maybe pretend or like act as if like I'm the greatest friend that there ever is. Okay. I have my own faults. Okay. And you know something that I've been trying to like track when it comes to my behaviors is like when somebody wins at something, my friend, and like they tell me about it and I don't feel happy, I tend to ask myself like, why did it feel why did I feel like I'm not happy for them? And I like to ask myself that because we are not usually honest. We always say that like we are not jealous, we don't compete. But when it comes to down to like somebody who you are trying to work on something with and then they make it before you, whenever you feel that little piece of jealousy, you're supposed to ask yourself, what made me feel that way? Okay. And maybe you can be honest with your friend and tell them, I am kind of feeling jealous, like I don't know. Ian says, even your voice got changed. The way that you were talking to me was mixed with ignorance. Even your voice got changed. The way that you were talking to me was mixed with ignorance. I literally cannot understand you, Ian. Even your voice got changed. The way you were talking to me was mixed with ignorance. Okay, I am not understanding you. Ferry Huik says, my job to dream. Okay, you guys are weird. You guys are weird. I was talking about last Sunday. God, yeah. Okay, quit putting this false narrative. Like, what if my husband is watching? Okay, happy April Fool's Day. Today I never got fooled. Uh, okay. Christopher Larson says, you know about Shri Mataji, no? Fill me in. Tell me about it. Vicky says, friends like the ones you just described are the narcissist. And I know narcissistic friends. But you know what? We can sit here and act as like we are always the best friends ourselves. That's why I'm saying, like, as me personally as a friend, like if I realize that I'm competing with you, I literally don't want to be friends with you anymore, because If I'm feeling jealous, then can I be happy for you? Like, can I say that I'm a good friend? No. Okay, if I, at the end of the day, I end up feeling like I'm competing with you, you tell me that you're succeeding at something and I'm not happy, I really don't want to be friends anymore, because I just don't want that. I don't want you to feel like that. Vicky says they know everything. Yeah, God, let me tell you. Okay, let me see what I can say. Because that friend might watch this video. It was a time where like I was working at a place, not working. It was literally like internship or like attachment, whatever. I don't want to give the details to the T, okay? So I had this person that we were working with. Can you say annoying? Like sometimes I'll even be assigned duties and they come to my field. They're trying to do it like they're trying to tell me, oh no, Wambo, don't do like that. It's not done like that. No, no, you don't do that. Like, and it was always annoying, especially at workplace. God, I don't know how you guys deal with that. Like somebody who is always trying to be better than you, somebody who is always trying to show that they are better than you. They're trying to compete with you. It's always about them. It's never about you, putting you down and stuff like that. And I know what I'm describing is just toxic friendships, but it's like, are friendships better than that? Can friendships be better than the toxicness, the silent competition? Can friendships be better than hurting each other, being nosy, gossip? Because at this point I feel like I literally don't need friends. If it's all about gossiping, it's all about not helping each other, it's all about talking about how men are trash, then I'm like, is it really worth it? Okay. Ian says, I'm sorry, I'm doing I doing no, you're already married. I didn't know you're no. I'm not already married, but like, well, I am engaged, okay? Christopher Larson says Shri Mataji YouTube miracles. Oh no, I have never heard about them. I've never heard about them. Ferry Wick says, say hello to your husband and kids. Oh, I don't have husband and I don't have kids, but I can say hi to my fiance. Okay, you guys. Ian says, I'm gonna stop my imaginations from going through the Sunday events. Wow, good for you. Okay. Vicky says, exactly. Okay. Mm. So, do you believe in lifelong friendships? Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Let me type that. You can answer. You can answer yes. If yes, why yes? If you answer no, if why no? Perry Quick says being independent is the best solution to live life. Okay, but you know what? It's all fun and games of being independent and being by yourself until you literally need people. You know, I am quick to say that like sometimes friendships can be toxic. Sometimes having people all over your business is not good. But at the same time, some people you just need. Sometimes you just need people. Sometimes you just need people. You've seen people who've cut off people, and then at the end of the day, they need some fundraising, and then they just you realize what I'm saying. Like as far as like people can be toxic, as far as friends can be toxic, I don't believe in cutting off all family and friends. I believe if people are toxic, you can cut them off, but not everybody. Because at the end of the day, we are human. We are supposed to live together. We are supposed, you have something that I don't have, or I have something that you don't have. We are supposed to share that. So I actually don't believe in the whole idea of like completely cutting people off. Ian says, I have a friend who depends on me financially when he needs to borrow money. Oh, so you are literally their bank. Okay, you're just a bank or a circle where um they borrow some money. Okay, and that's good as far as you've defined the relationships, and that's it. Okay, David Idoni Boy says, everyone ignores me, please don't. I'm not ignoring you. Fill me in. Let me know how you're doing. Welcome to the live. Felix says, depends how you handle your relationship. That's it. That's it. That's true. Because as far as we are spreading the whole thing of like, in the US, people are so and how I know that my fiance is American. So people are so like into their business, like nobody visits. Okay, some people do visit each other, but everybody like out there, it's not like Africa where people are so much into like, you know, the grandmother of your grandmother, like, you know, the aunt of your aunt, all those things. In the US, they don't do that. They don't do that. So you just live your life and that's it. Okay. Well, I admire that lifestyle because grass is always greener on the other side. I don't like the way out here in African countries we are always on other people's business, or like, not other people's, like we are literally family and that's it. Like we are gonna stay like this. So I like the other one, like the nonchalant, you don't socialize with family. But I see what the unity does when you literally need people, you have some people who are there for you, honestly. You know, and that can be one of the greatest things because in the unity, you can literally be able to do a lot of stuff. But still, in those unity, you have now all these people who are expecting black tax from you, all these people who are putting their expectations on you, all these people to judge you, all these people to tell you what you're supposed to do in terms of relationships, when you should have children, when you should get married, and it's just so annoying. Okay. Vicky says lifelong friendships indeed possible but extremely rare. Okay, I think friends are meant to be there for every season. Like, no, friends are there. I believe friends are supposed to be there for seasons. When the season or the phase is over, you move on and you find other friends. Let me try and type that question. Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Let me know. Do you believe in lifelong friendships, guys? If you're just tuning in, my name is Wamboy. Let me know how you're doing. We are talking about friendships, and I have a question. Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Oh God. Where is the question mark? Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Let me know. Uh, Vicky says to Ian, but do they pay you back the money? Yeah, that's the huge question because you might just be getting yourself used. Okay. First of all, one of the things that I literally told myself, like, God help me, that I never want to be that type of person who gets used by my friends. Like, if it's like a parasite relationship, like parasitic relationship, let me be the parasite, not the other way around. Oh, Serihud says, doesn't matter where you're coming from. Everyone can't live without love, adore, and respect, you know. But you know what? In some of these Western countries, Europe, US, it's like people have already learned how to just be by themselves. And maybe social media is one of the things that is lying to us that we are having real life connections, because when we are here, when I'm scrolling on my phone, I literally feel like I'm in the room with people because I'm scrolling, I'm being let into people's lives. So that kind of gives me a false analogy, like, okay, I'm in their life and I know them, I know these people. At the end of the day, you don't know them and they don't know you, and maybe that's it, like the false analogy and stuff. So so I think so Fairy Hicks says it doesn't matter where you live, but I think it matters because here in African countries we are still most families are still intact, most families, but it's very unfortunate that we are copying the other lifestyle of like just living your own life, not caring about people. It's helpful because at the end of the day you only have to deal with your own stuff. You don't have to deal with mess from your grandfather, of the grandfather, you know. uh Vicky says it exists in the US too, it's just not mainstream. Okay. No, but in real life in the US, most people just keep to themselves. Okay, I have seen so many people who have moved from African countries or like even from other parts like Asia, where people are so much into traditions and culture. They move there and they're like, oh, you know what? I'm literally surprised. Like, wow, how can you live without other people? Guys, welcome to the live. We're talking about friendships. Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Do you believe in lifelong friendships? Ian says to Vicky, it takes years to pay me back, and that friend that I'm talking about should pay me back in 2027. Oh my god, that's just not right. That's just not right. You know what? I have a thing that I do right now. Okay, when people borrow money, if you're not willing to lose that money, never lend money that you're not willing to lose, or money that you cannot afford to lose. So what I do now when people are like borrowing money or like borrowing stuff, it doesn't have to be money. It can be other things. If you're not willing to lose that thing, they're borrowing and promising that they're gonna pay back. So for example, let's say they are borrowing you 500 and you can only afford to lose 100. Tell them, I don't have the 500, but I can give you 100, but don't pay me back. So you give them 100, they stay with their 100, they never pay you back, and you keep your friendship. Because by lending people money, you're literally compromising your friendship. That money is never gonna be paid back unless you're sure with who you're dealing with. So for me, that's little thing that I do. Like when people, you can even contact me. You're like, oh, boy, can I borrow 500 from you? I'm just gonna tell you, I only have 50. Is it helpful to you? When you say yes, I send it to you, and like, that's it done. Like, don't pay me back, okay? Because I cannot deal. I literally get so upset when I lend people money and they don't give it back. Ian says, I believe in a long distance relationship. Is it a long distance relationship in like friendship or like uh relationship? Vicky says to Ian, at what interest rate, may I ask? Okay, what interest? Because you're literally wasting your money. Just go put it in the bank. The bank is going to, okay, put it in the bank, maybe under like some saving or something. Moses Kimani says, hey girl, hey you, good to see you, welcome to the live, my name is Omboy, thank you so much for tuning. Let me know, do you believe in long-term friendships, lifelong friendships? Ian says to Vicky, believe me, I don't make any interest. Wow. Fairy Wick says, do you believe in lifelong friendships? The answer, honesty. Nobody have a husband or a wife because they are not your family, otherwise it's taboos. Okay, I need to read that again. Do you believe in lifelong friendships? The answer, honesty. Nobody have a husband or a wife because they are not your family, otherwise it's taboos. Oh, not so you're literally saying the only lifelong friendship that you are supposed to have is your husband or your wife. Okay, interesting. Guys, do you believe in lifelong friendships? Ian says, I trust my friends, those whom I do borrowing the money. Okay. Fairy Wick says, money can't buy satisfaction. Money is not a friendship. Okay. You know, I think, you know, when it comes to friendship, the money topic will always come up. It always come up. Even if you avoid it, the money topic will always show up. So it's upon you to decide what you're willing, what's on the table for you. What are you willing to gain? What are you willing to lose? So you can talk about friendships and not talk about money. The same way you can talk about relationships and not talk about money, because it's one at the same time. Like, because if you're claiming to be my friends and you want to know when I'm having problems, I'm going to tell you about my financial problems. Vicky says to Ian, at least he space bar. In what situation does he give you a hand? Farouk says, long distance relationship is unpredictable. Be honest to yourself. No. Okay, it is unpredictable, but it can literally work. Okay, I used to believe, I used to be like, the long distance relationship is just, no, it cannot work. But I think it can, okay? I honestly think it can. Or I believe it can because, of course, I am in one. Okay, so how does it work, okay? It depends. If both of you are in a position where, like, you can literally include each other in each one. Okay, if I can be able to include my partner in my day in the long distance, and they can be able to include me in their day, then most of the time you will know where they are at. Okay, for example, like me, we do have like a system that we usually use where, like, I have my laptop on, and maybe we can make a call that never ends. Like, when I leave the house, of course it's connected to the internet. We are just connected, like the whole time we are just connected, and that's just how it works out. So it literally depends. uh, yeah, some of them. Felix says, lovers, not sex. Love is not sex. Love is God. Okay, but all of them come in one sentence. Love, sex, God, they come in one sentence. Like, you cannot love someone and not want to have sex with them. Can you? Can you? Guys, welcome to the live. You're talking about friendships. So let's move on to the next question. So what was fake friends or no friends? In your opinion, what was fake friends or no friends? What's worse in your opinion? Fake friends or no friends? What's worse? Fake friends or no friends? Guys, welcome to the live. If you're watching, kindly like, subscribe, join the family so that I usually go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So always be looking for me at that hour. Oh God. What's worse? What? What was fake friends or no friends? Fairy Hook says true friendship is priceless. What's worse, fake friends or no friends? I think fake friends. Like when you have no friends, you're not holding any expectation to anybody. So which means you're just fine. And either way, you're just fine. But let me give you guys a chance to answer. What's worse, fake friends or no friends? Fake friends or no friends? I always see people post on their WhatsApp talking about fake friends. And I never understand it. Okay? Because why are you with fake friends? Okay, but believe me, I've been there. So it takes a lot of time to interrogate and see who is fake and who isn't. Who is a real friend? Who are the people that you want to carry along? So I do believe that people have fake friends, or people have friends who laugh in their face and uh, talk nasty things behind their back. But in your opinion, what was fake friends or no friends? Fake friends or no friends? Ooh, what's worse? Moses Mandu says sex is an expression of love. Hey, yes, Lord. Just like conversation, holding hands, sharing, and even praising. If you remove any part of love, then love ends. Wow, sex is an expression of love. Okay, I do believe, yes, sex is an expression of love. And like, if you're not having sex, okay, if it's not because for example, what happens if you get married, both of you are having sex and it's just fine. So what happens if your wife have an accident and like you can never have sex with them? Does that mean that does the love end right there, where like you cannot have sex with them anymore? So that's why I say all of them are important. Like, sex is an expression of love and that's it. But if you cannot express love in terms of like sex, the penetration, you can have other ways that like it's sex, but because you get what I'm saying, like your wife gets into an accident, you cannot have sex with them anymore. So that does mean that your expression of love goes away. I don't believe so. So I do believe, as far as sex is an expression of love, it's not always about the penetration. There's so many other things that people can do to express their love. Okay. Vicky says to Ian, good. Just make sure you're not used as a ladder by your friends and at the end be left behind while they're on top. You might end up hating yourself. Yeah, you might literally, he might end up presenting himself. There was a show that I was watching. It's like when there was a show that I was watching, and so there are three friends. Okay, actually, you know what? How many of you have watched Breaking Bad? Okay, where Walter, he was being upset because of he had these friends and like they had started this company, and he backed off. But most of the contribution to start the company, it was his ideas, okay? And he lived his whole entire life hating these friends, feeling resentful because he felt like if he had stayed, like that company was doing so well, they were making billions, and he was out there struggling, and now he was just a drug dealer, and he's like, wow. Okay, so yeah, make sure you're not used. Frederick says trusting grow by time and experience. Okay. Vicky says other ways like money. No. Okay, money is part of the story because I said you cannot talk about relationships when you don't talk about money. Because let's say you get married out of love. Are you going to eat the love? Okay, you can never eat love. Okay, that's where finances come in. That's where money comes in when it comes to relationships. You cannot say, oh, I love you to death and I'm gonna get married to you. Like when you get married, when you get in that house, what are you gonna be eating? Okay, where are you gonna live? So yeah, money is another way you can express love, but it's not the only way. And at the same time, the whole thing of like people are only looking for money in love, you know. Ian says to Vicky, you are right and thanks for your advice. Moses says, it's Moses. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about friendships, okay? And we have a question. What's worse, fake friends, or no friends? What's worse, fake friends or no friends? Moses Mandu says there is a difference between not having sex and not wanting sex. And yes, sex comes in many forms. Oh, wow, that's huge. There's a difference between not wanting sex and not having sex and not wanting sex. Okay. Yeah, because you can want to have sex and not be able to have it for different reasons. But as far as you're able to express in other ways, you can have oral sex. You can have okay, you can have oral sex, you can buy sex toys with your partner and you can play with each other, you know, all those type of things that you can literally do. Okay. Ian says a fake friend is someone who displays good manners and acts excessively kindly only to get close to you and get what they want, after which their true nature is revealed. Wow, wow, thank you for that one. Guys, we are asking a question. What's worse, fake friends or no friends? So Ian is saying a fake friend is someone who displays good manners and acts excessively kindly only to get close to you and get what they want, after which their true nature is revealed. Okay, I think it's fake friendship, and also it's like being a con artist, because somebody who can do that, those are literally con artists. Okay, con artist at its best. But unfortunately, that's the world that we are living in. Fake friends, be careful who you are making friends with. Okay, some people have even been like some people have been, their lives have been taken by their friends. Okay, you're friends with somebody, they are literally jealous of what you have, they plan, and at the end of the day, that's why I think, for me, I think when you ask me the question, what's worse, fake friends or no friends, I would say fake friends, it's worse, because this person might even take your life. Okay, you have people around you who are being jealous of you, they don't like you, they hate you, they talk nasty stuff behind your back. So I think what's worse, fake friends. No friends, I can deal with that. I can deal with no friends. Like, it doesn't phase me. I can deal with no friends. Like, I was not born with friends. I can literally make friends. But the fake ones, they are a problem because they know so many stuff about you. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Kindly like, subscribe, so that we can keep drawing on here. Very Week says the problem, we see, money means buy and selling. Wanting sex is not right words towards real love. Okay, what can you maybe tell us, which words are we supposed to use when it comes to like needing sex, or like, oh, making love? Oh, you want us to say making love? What is the best word to use when it comes to that? Vicky says a fake friend is more dangerous than an enemy. Very, very dangerous, because they know your activities, they know what you do during the day. I watch murder mysteries. I like Okay, I like watching that, but not every time. Anytime when I'm feeling, you know, as women, sometimes during the month, you just want to feel negative things. Sometimes I'm just so attracted to watching negativity, and that's when I watch murder mysteries. But you realize most of the time there's usually a friend behind the murder. Like, oh, they're not the one who did it, but they had something to do with like whoever did it. Okay, so I do believe, I do agree with you, like fake friends is more dangerous than an enemy. Very dangerous. uh Omar Dio says, I'm really, really jealous. Why? Okay, that was a wrong response. You are really, really jealous. So how can you do to make sure that you're not jealous? Because that's something that I said that I usually do when I have friends that they are telling me something that they are into. They got a job and maybe we went to school together. If I feel like an ounce of jealousy, I like to say it out loud to myself or maybe to somebody else that I trust, like, God, I felt this way, like, I felt this way. Just so that somebody knows, like, that's how I felt. And I think that's how you're able to, like, not express it to ask them, not to be resentful just because they're doing better than you. Okay? So is being jealous a bad thing? Most of us, we are jealous. It's only that we don't usually like to admit it, because I have caught myself being jealous to people. Okay, but the way I deal with it is like I say it out loud. I might tell my partner like, oh God, I'm feeling jealous, or like stuff, you know. And maybe he might say it's normal, or that's how you stop yourself from being jealous. Okay, and if you're jealous for somebody, maybe I don't know if telling them will be the best thing, but I don't know. Ferry Wick says some people were born because of love, but some people were born because of accidents. So, that's it. That's it. How does that show up when it comes to friendships and love? Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. We are talking about friendships and outgrowing friends. And also, I have a question on the screen. What was fake friends or no friends? Okay, but I think most of us have answered. So moving on. Uh, have you ever been the bad friend? Let me type that before I read your comments. Have you Moses Mandu says, guys, if you're watching this, kindly like, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Moses Mandu says, sex is a physical act. Making love is an emotional act. Both are necessary in a loving relationship. Okay. Sex is a physical act. Making love is an emotional act. Both are necessary. So what's making love? Okay, because you guys are getting me lost when it comes to this. Okay, in my opinion, uh, okay, sex and making love is literally one thing, but it depends if you are connected emotionally with the person that you're sleeping with. Okay, if you're connected emotionally, then you're making love. Okay, if it's just like somebody who you just found along the street and you decide, let's kick it, let's have some, that's just sex. That's what just that is. Okay. Vicky says, rule of thumb, turn your fake friend into your worst enemy. From the moment you discovered they're faking it with you. Okay? Yeah, like I think, but you know, it's very difficult to do that. Like, keep it at 100. Like, when you realize, like, but you know, it's very, how do you, okay, now this is a real question. How do you identify fake friends? How do you identify fake friends? Or how do you identify, not only fake, how do you identify friends? They might not be fake, but they don't mean well. They want you to stay at the level that you are. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to become better. They don't want you to achieve nothing. Like, they just want you to stay at that level. So how do you identify friends who are fake friends? Okay? How do you identify enemies who want to be friends? Okay? Because I think that's why most of us are like, you know what? I'd rather just stay without friends. I think that's it, because you realize like is no, like no, thank you, I don't want the friendship. Okay, so how do you identify that? Okay, how do you identify that? And I think something else that I was talking about with my partner, we were talking about like when it comes to friendship, most of the time you realize you don't even need friends that much, they really need you. Like 70% of the time, 70% of the time you're usually fine by yourself. So 30% of the time is when you need friends. Maybe when you want to go to have a drink, when you want to go from you want to go to a club, you want to go to, you know, when you want to go to social events, that's when you need friends. So most of the time you literally don't even need friends. Okay, so we keep friends for the social events, we keep friends for the vibes, we keep friends for just when you want to go partying, especially for us young people, you want to go there and make bad decisions, that's when you need friends. Okay, so I think that's where it comes in. You're like, you're weighing the options, you're like, you know, I feel like the negative outweigh the positives. Okay, the negatives, do you guys feel like the negatives outweigh the positives? And guys, remember we have a question on the screen. Oh god, god, wow. Oh, have you ever been the bad friend? Okay, that's what we are talking about. Have you ever been the bad friend? Because I don't want us to sit here and act as if we are angels. Okay, that's why I've said, like, I have felt jealous for friends before, but I keep it at 100. Like, I tell myself, you know, I'm feeling jealous. What's making me feel jealous? What's making me feel like, yeah, what's going on here? So let me read your stuff. Lucy Mwangi says, hey, my friend. Hey, you, Lucy. Welcome to the building. Thank you for showing up. We're talking about friends. Have you ever felt betrayed by a friend? Have you ever had friends and you realize, like, you're not my friend, you're literally a fake one? How do you deal with that? Ian says, my girlfriend gets jealous if I watch live stream of a beautiful girl. Does she have a right? Yes, absolutely. She have 100%, no, 190% rights to be jealous. Like, when it comes to relationship, that jealousy is just fine. It's just fine. It's just nature. Unless you don't love someone. But feeling jealous when you watch live stream, no. Okay, when it comes to like somebody that you're interested in sexually, your partner can feel jealous. But when it comes to like you're just scrolling, it's like, no, like you can't do that. Oh, I don't know what's acceptable. I'm not a relationship therapist. Gitao Leon Hart says, I have good friend and I'm a good friend, but we only meet in bad and unproductive situations. Wow. Wow, wow. And you know, and I think that's one thing. That's one thing. I have, you know, my some friends have cut me off because maybe we were only meeting up when we were doing bad stuff, when we were there smoking, when we are there drinking, when we are there making bad decisions. Maybe when a friend changes, or like they change their ways, they don't do the things that you guys used to connect on anymore, they are like so that I can change my behaviors. And this is so common when maybe you are a slut on the streets. When you change your behaviors, if you really want to stop those habits, you have to you have to cut off all those people that you used to have in the streets. So when that happens, maybe I think, in my opinion, Guitar, what you can do, if you want to like start on a clean slate, maybe you might have to start with new friends. Guys, if you have something that you can tell Guitar Leon about, he have good friends and he is a good friend, but they only meet in bad and unproductive situations, what can you tell him? I think I would tell him, if you want to change, because I think I have done that before, if you want to change, you kind of like have to leave those friendships behind and go and start on a clean slate. Frederick Solari says, hi, are you from Kisumu? No, 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 I'm not from Kisumu, but I've lived in Kisumu before. I've lived in Kisumu before, but I'm not from Kisumu. Vicky says, you identify them by regularly testing and studying them. Okay, yeah, you have to, I think you have to be really careful when it comes to friendship. You have to be really observant, very observant. Moses Mandu says, sex is a physical act of pleasing your partner and self. Making love is an emotional connection. It's foreplay, it's dinner, it's dancing, it's the acts that lead up to sex. Okay, it's the, yeah, it's opening doors for your partner, it's all of those things. You know, I didn't think that you know, me personally, where I grew up, like, No, I didn't see no one opening doors for anybody. Of course, when I went to the city and like I saw people doing stuff like that, but I always noticed for the young piece, okay. But then by now, of course, online you're able to see different stuff. And when that happened to me, like my man opening the door for me, God, that's it literally melts your heart. You don't know you need it, but when it happens, it's like, wow, I really need this. So yeah, I see, yeah. I see. So that's what's making love. But do you know people confuse making love with sex? Most people say, let's go and make love, but they mean let's go in bed and kick it. Okay? Ian says, so are you asking me to leave watching your live stream? No, no, Ian. I was saying that. But as far as you're not like looking at me sexually, like she shouldn't be feeling jealous or Fairy says fake friendship is manipulative. Jealousy is psychological sickness. Is it? Psychological sickness. Oh. Guitar Leon says useless friends are better than loneliness. God, no. Okay, that's your opinion. I shouldn't say that. That's your opinion, but like, not useless, fake ones, which means these people might even be plotting your murder. I don't know if I'm allowed to say such words on YouTube. So these people might be plotting bad things behind your back. Like that's what I see. I think I would rather not have friends than have fake ones. Moses Mandu says, "Oh, and I tend to be the bad friend, not as a user, but as someone that finds it easier not to be them for them, not to be them for them. I tend to be the bad friend, not as use." Okay, okay. So can I say I'm a good friend? I'm a good friend when I want to, okay? But when I feel like it's not my space anymore, I can literally be a bad friend, or like I have been a bad friend before. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. I was born and raised in Kenya. We are talking about friendships, okay? So this is a question that I asked that led to this. What's worse, fake friends or no friends? Fake friends or no friends? So what's worse in your opinion? So Moses Mandu says, oh, I tend to be the bad friend, not as a user, but as someone that find it easier not to be there for them. Okay. Oh. Vicky says, I have become a bad friend lately. When it comes to, guys, make sure you answer the question that we are having on the screen. Vicky says, I have become a bad friend lately. When it comes to keeping in touch, and it's due to some changes in my life. I haven't always been like that, but I still there when I'm needed. Okay, you know something that I've realized. Something that I've realized when it comes to friendship. If you guys are good friends, you should be able to be there for each other when necessary. Okay, when necessary. But that doesn't mean if your friend goes silent. That doesn't mean that they are bad friends. It just means that like they are just people. Okay, and that's it. And if your friendship cannot go through those seasons where you go silent, is it really friendships? So I see that. Oh, Jacob is in the building. God, it's been a minute. Hello. Sorry, haven't been on busy. Okay, that's good. How are you? I'm great. Hit the likes, guys. Okay, welcome to the building. Let me keep reading. We are talking about friendships. Okay, and guys, we have a question. Have you ever been the bad friend? Josh Mwangi Washira says cute lips. Thank you. When you join in the live, kindly like, subscribe. Guitar Leon Hart says overestimating how much people owe you will leave you. We live socially illiterate. Sometimes you have to entertain low vibration relationships to see the importance of high vibration relationships. Okay, but you know what? You kind of have to have the energy for that type of like testing. Okay, you have to be you have to like have that type of energy. Like you know, at this point, you know, 2 years ago, I was willing to go through that. Okay, I was willing to be like to be there to hang out with bad energy. Right now, God, my peace is so important. Like I cannot entertain that around me. James Parr says, Hi to you, James. Good to see you. We are talking about friendships, and I would like to know, for the people who are older, do friendships get better with age, or like maybe this something that we are just going through because, of course, I'm just in my 20s. Is this something that you just go through in your 20s? Will you care about friends in your 30s, in your 40s, like, or is it going to like, you know what? I have my wife, I have my husband, and that's it. Fairy Hook says, "Are you a jealous woman?" No, I'm not a jealous woman. I'm just I'm just honest. Most of us we are jealous. It's not like I'm jealous with everything. That's like why I like to be honest. But sometimes you'll have friends, you're working on the same thing and maybe they get there before you. And maybe sometimes that doesn't sit well with you. Vicky says, a useless friend is definitely better over a fake one. Useless is better, but fake is not. A jealous friend, yes. Oh, so are you saying that you're a jealous friend? Mm-hmm. Ferry Hook says, okay, greetings from Flores, Indonesia. I have to go to sleep. Thank you for hanging out with me today. You can always hang out with me around the same time every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Vicky says to hi Jack, how is it hanging? Therefore, have friends with getting older. Okay. So would you say that like for the older ones, do friendships get better or like do they get become difficult to maintain as you get older? Uh-huh. Real friends will tell you the truth and argue with you because they care, okay? How about fake friends? Have you ever been the bad friend? Okay, so moving on to the next question. So have you ever outgrown someone when it comes to friendships? Have you ever outgrown someone when it comes to friendships? Have you ever outgrown someone when it comes to friendship? It's just like nothing bad happened between you guys, but it's just like your energy doesn't match anymore, like you're into different things in different times. uh, have you ever outgrown uh-huh Moses Mandu says friendships don't necessarily get better. Okay, and I'm assuming Moses is over 30. But the longer a friendship lasts, the more likely it will last until death, and it's real. Okay, there's these women that I used to see on TikTok. They were literally old. They died. I think they passed away. They were friends. Like they even lived. They even lived in the same house during their later days. Like before they passed away, and it was just so good. They have known each other for years from since when they were younger. For years they have retained the friendship, they have been there for each other, and I'm like, wow, that's when it comes to friendship, that's literally what you need. That's literally what you And they tell each other, they used to be so mean to each other, like in terms of like calling each other names and stuff like that, but that's when you know that friendship is literally real. Okay. uh okay, so I think the longer it lasts, the more likely. I think, in my opinion, if you're in your 20s, you literally haven't met the people who are gonna be there for you until you get to that age, that the big age. You haven't met those people who are gonna be there during those times. Gitao Leon Hart says humans are political animals. The smaller the population, few friends, the less your ability. Wow, this relates to family, job, and social settings. Know how to handle, don't avoid. Okay, and I think when I started the live, we were talking about that, and I was saying the last thing you want is to cut off people completely, because at the end of the day, you will need people at some point. Okay, and the last thing you need is to be that person who have cut everybody off. Okay, okay. You need to be good with people even though they are not your friends. I think you need to be good with people, but that doesn't mean that you need to entertain every human being that's available, because people, you know what I've realized, especially when it comes to family, uh, in African countries, we grow up in families that we are told like blood is thicker than water. It doesn't matter what your siblings does to you. It doesn't matter if they put their hands on you. It doesn't matter if they are rude to you. It doesn't matter if they call you names. That's family. That's what we are told. Okay, and I'm literally outgrowing that. Oh, I literally don't want to hear that. When it comes to like somebody putting their hands on me, I don't care if you're a sibling or whatever you are, a relative, that one I'm not entertaining. I don't care if I'm African or blood is thicker than water. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so I am drawing lines, but I can't draw lines everywhere. I have sometimes to entertain some things. So some of these things you have to entertain, but like this whole thing of like blood is thicker than water, you literally need people. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. Because growing up, you would literally find like somebody is even being mean to you, but blood is thicker than water. No, mine is not thick. Mine is loose, okay? Because you're not gonna be putting your hands on me just because you're your family, and you're not gonna be calling me names. Uh, and still expect me to be loyal, still expect me to be family. No, it doesn't work like that. I'm gonna love you from a distance. So I see what you're saying, Gitao, because we are political human beings. We literally need people and all of those things, but that will never be used, okay, to make me feel bad for choosing myself. Moses Mandu says, I've outgrown all my friends, or more specifically, I've grown in a different direction. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that as far as you have the right support, you feel loved, as far as you have the love, because at the end of the day, we all need to feel like somebody cares about us. Uh, because I realize, like, if you don't have something that is making you to care even about yourself, you have no reason to live. So do you have that? That's the huge question. Okay, Vicky says, I've outgrown few friends when it comes to certain basic knowledge, but I haven't outgrown anyone when it comes to friendship. Okay. uh have I outgrown someone when it comes to friendships? Yes, I have. Especially people who are just like narcissists, toxic, and all those things. I am trying to have better habits for myself. I'm trying to teach myself what love is, because for some of us who grew up with like toxicness and all of that, you have to like literally relearn what love is like to you, and all of those things. So definitely I have outgrown people, but I feel like it wasn't, I think we were not even friends in the first place. These were just people that I knew, but in my head, I don't know how to differentiate friends from people that I know. Okay, we go to class together, we end up hanging out a few times. I'm like, oh, that's my friend, okay? But I have realized to call people by who they are. You know what? You're just a colleague. You're not my friend. You're a colleague, okay? Uh, People that I went to high school with, those are my classmates, okay, my desk mate, roommate, those things, roommate, okay, because I realized even from high school I kept saying that my desk mate was my friend, but I realized like we were never friends. It's just like he was my bedmate, desk mate, schoolmate. So that's something that I'm realizing right now, to put people in their place, because at the end of the day, like, people are who they are. So that, like, when you do that with your friendships, by defining who people are to you and what they do, you are able to see clearly. You are able to, so that you remain with a small group of people who is like, these are the friends. And when you remain with that, you can be able to like scale down and see who you're gonna retain. Okay, have you ever done that? Like, these are just people that you know, but your brain tells you these are your friends, but they are not. So, however, grown people, yes. Okay, but I think also my brain was lying to me who these people were to me. Okay. And I feel like we should all be defining friendships. Okay, we should be telling each other, like, we should be paying attention if the other person is saying that we are their friend, or who are they saying that we are to them. Vicky says, okay, I think I read that. Vicky says, well, thank God politics are man-made. And also thank God money is man-made. Okay, thank God for all those things. Guitar Leon says, making your circle smaller might be a coping mechanism for you going backwards in life and trying to convince yourself you're right. Oh, wow, wow. Are you trying so hard to be politically incorrect? Okay, no, I don't believe so. Me personally, it's moving forward. For me, it's moving forward because I don't see the need of having this large group with me, and we are literally going nowhere. Okay, I literally don't see any need of having this large group. So, making my circle smaller, I don't do that on purpose, because if I have 10 friends who are great, then I will have them. I'm not going to try to narrow down to zero. But at the same time, like, at the end of the day, like, you are only one person. What are you doing with 50 friends? Like, one person, 50 friends. You cannot be able to focus on one. You cannot be able to be there for them. You cannot be able to be there everything. So I think, like, having like 6 friends or 7 friends is what's reasonable. Exactly, we should definitely. Yeah, like, I feel like, do you guys think that we should be defining who people are to us? Like, okay, when you meet somebody and you just use the train together every day in the morning, what are they to you? Are they your friend, or they're just somebody that you met in the train? Like, what are they to you? I feel like we should be defining that. Guitar Leon's heart says, some friendships are for a season and should be treasured as such. They are not fake. And no, and I didn't say they are fake. I just said that, like, we literally need to define what these things are to us. Okay, they're not fake. They're just for a season. Okay, I have met so many people in my life, and I think, I'm not saying that they have been fake friends. They're just people that I know, and that's okay. That's okay. We For people we went to campus with, and when we after campus, everybody took their own direction. It's not like they're bad people. It's just like they are my campus schoolmates, uh, classmates, apartment mates, roommate. That's what they are. Okay. Vicky says 10 quality friends is much better than 100 fake friends. That's just it right there. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Like, quality. How much are you into each other's life? What are you doing? Okay. Let's go on with that other question. Wow. So, have you ever, I think this one is a huge one, especially for me, because have you ever lost a friend without closure? Have you ever lost a friend? Like, somebody didn't tell you what you did to them, or like what's wrong. They just woke up one day and moved on. Okay? Have you ever lost a friend without closure? And how was that like for you? Have you ever lost a friend? Today I'm my everything, like, I'm typing for myself. Have you ever lost a friend without closure? Guitar Leon said, Guitar Lion, not Leon. Guitar Lion says, have you ever considered that people should segment friendships, like close friends, network friends, hobby friends, and family friends? I have never considered. I am trying to consider. Uh, I am trying to consider that right now. Okay, I have never considered that. And you know what? Actually, somebody who opened my eyes to that is like, all these people that you're saying, because me, in my stories, if you ever listen very very keenly, I'm always like, I had a friend. And everything that I say, when I talk about every place that I've ever been, I always talk about friends. And somebody opened my eyes and they were like, are you sure that that was your friend? Are you sure? Or like, what were they? So I think what you're saying, say, like, put segments like close friends, network friends, family friends, school friends, hobby friends. I'm gonna be doing that, or that's what I'm doing right now. I have to define, like, who are you to me, because that's where I get it. I become misled and start sharing my personal business with mates. Okay. With schoolmates. I start sharing my personal business with roommates. Okay, not friends, roommates. Okay, remember, they're not telling me theirs, but I am, because in my head they are my friends. You understand? Okay, God. What? Oh, ridiculous. Hmm. Okay. Vicky says, Wamboy, you have a lot of mates. You know, I have, because of course, I have been doing a lot of things with my life. I'm just 23, but like that, I have been through a lot, or like I've done so many things. I have a lot of mates, because let's see. Okay, in primary school, I can say I had friends, and I can say I had mates, classmates, desk mates, and stuff. When I go to high school, you see, high school, I went to a boarding school in high school, so we used to reside at the school. So which means, because we were staying there, we became family with these girls. It was a girls school. We became family. At the end of the day, I ended up with, okay, in class, let's start with in class, desk mate, my immediate desk mate. And remember, for 4 years you can have like 5 desk mates. Okay, but the one that stuck with me was one girl, the one that I had in my last year, my final year in high school. Okay, she was my desk mate. Okay, and then we had a group at the back of the class. At the back of the class, we had a group. So which means is, my desk mate and I, and then the girls that were sitting in front of us. Okay, so I can say that those were my friends. They were just mates, schoolmates. Then in the dormitory, remember, I was sleeping at the school. Like, that's where I was living, because it's a boarding school. So we have cubicles, cube mates. We have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One room had 12 people. Okay, one room had 12 people. Now remember, I had a bedmate, the person who sleeps on top of me, and now I have all these cube mates. So see why I have a lot of them. You can see. Now moving on, going to campus, you have roommates, a lot of them that you live with them throughout the 4 years. Roommates, bedmates, a lot of mates. Okay, that's how you end up with a lot of them. Moses Mandu says, a friend will give you an alibi. A good friend will help you bury the body. A fake friend will point you out to the corpse. Wow. But are they being fake? Are they being fake or what? No, they're not being fake. Like, if you've done something of that sort, like, somebody needs to tell the police. Okay, Vicky says, I have lost friends without closure, and that does not hurt me as much as the one I lost to death recently. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I have never lost a friend to death. Wow. Okay, that one is more hurtful, because there was love there during their final days. How do you deal with that? Like, wow, God, I even don't know. Like, what? Knowing that somebody was there for you and then they passed away, especially somebody who was close to you, that must have been difficult. Uh, Gitao says, "Do you believe in the afterlife?" I I would say I think I do, but like, I have had so much confusion when it comes to religion. I have had like, because I am an overthinker, and of course I'm a philosopher. So I've tried to like look at the to be reasonable, to be somebody. I don't want to be following religion blindly. I want to be thinking about it. So I have had a lot of confusion when it comes to afterlife and what I believe in. But I can tell you for sure, of course, I grew up Christian. So I do have that like mentality of like the afterlife, but still I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find my faith, because something that like is usually a struggle for me is wondering, before the coming of Christianity to Africa, Africans believed in God. Okay, so I kind of want to rely more on like believing in the God that Africans believe in. before the coming of Christianity. So it's literally a whole confusion. But yes, I believe that like there's life after death, but okay, it's complex. Okay, Guitar says you're 23. Are you married? No, I'm not married. Yeah, I'm 23. How old do I look? How old do I look? Vicky says, Guitar, I believe on the afterlife ecosystem wise. Oh, elaborate that, Vicky. We would like to hear that. Like, I've never looked at it that way. Elaborate for us. You know, when you think about afterlife, because for me, it's all about common sense when I think about it. How do you tell me we just buried a body and you're telling me the body like rose up to heaven? Like, there's such a disconnect for me, and I'm like, is all these things, are they made up? Are they real? You know, you look 33. Oh wow, thank you for saying that. Like maybe I look mature or something. Okay, no, but I know I'm very mature, maybe because of how I talk. I know I don't talk my age. Like I literally had to grow up literally very quickly. I'm just 23. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. Vicky says, I believe on the afterlife ecosystem wise. Uh-huh. Vicky, I would like to. I hope you are able to type that, like the whole thing about Afterlife. I watched Afterlife on Netflix. It's a British kind of like comedy show, and I did see a lot of similarities in the way the God, I forgot his name. I forgot the name of the guy who is the star on the show. I forgot, but my beliefs they kind of so much align with what he was saying. Like is this stuff made up or is it real? You know, there's a lot of things to think about when it comes to that. Pietman Gusen, South Africa in the building. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? Have you ever we have a question. What is our question right now? Have you ever lost a friend without closure? Like they just moved on, and that was it. Okay. uh Personally, how I've ever lost a close friend without closure, I feel like there was such a disconnect. There was a long time disconnect in terms of like our communication, and then also, and during that time, I kind of like the things that I wanted to do, all the things that we were talking to each other about, like what we are gonna do, what we are gonna accomplish in life. I kind of, especially when it comes to academics, I got that, and I didn't feel appreciated, and that's just that was it. Nobody ever confronted anyone saying like, oh, no, we just moved on with our lives, and that's it. Nobody knows about the other one, and you don't know where the other person lives, and you just move on with life, and you're like, that's it, that's it. Vicky says, racism aside, African belief system prior to colonization and Christianity is the right in terms of balance in life and saying the planet. Okay, racism aside, okay, was racism on the table? Okay, you know, I do believe like Africans had a lot of when you look at, of course we do have different communities, different tribes, so I can only speak for what I know. When you look at what they believed in, like for example my community and what they believed in, they believed in trees. They were praying tree, not praying trees, they used to believe, like you see, like the modern day churches, they didn't have that. A sacred place was under a tree that was called, for example, mugumo tree, and that was a sacred place. You couldn't cut down a mugumo tree, and whenever a mugumo tree fell down, that was a sign of danger, because it's like, why did that tree fall down? Why? What happened? Okay, so when I look at that and the way they used to pray for rainfall and it happens, so many things that they were into, you realize that these people literally had a balance, even though it wasn't what others believed in. But I felt like it was so unfair for missionaries, so everybody who brought their religion to Africa, it was so unfair for them to come and shove the religion on people's mouth, like just shove it up there, like you have to believe in this. And you know, they came with gifts, like they came with wealth. When you believe in this, we're gonna give you those clothes. Okay, I think the vulnerability of Africans is what allowed them to to agree with like Christianity, to agree with the Arabs when they came with Islam, you know, all those things. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. Um, Moses Mandu says, I've never lost a friend without closure, but my old friends have. I just don't see the point. The connection is gone, move on. Okay, the connection is gone, move on. No closure, you know. But you kind of need somebody to tell you what went wrong. Like, you kind of need that. Like, how do you just forget all the things that you had in common, all the things that you used to do, all the fun that, how do you forget that and just move on? Guitar Lion says, eat the fruit in the middle of the garden, you will surely die. Genesis. The book of Job concludes with God telling Job, you cannot convince the world. Okay, so what does that mean to you? Do you believe in afterlife? Do you even believe in God? Okay. You know, when it comes to these holy books, definitely they were written by human beings. That one I know for sure they were. But there is a lot of questions, you know, because sometimes you just have to believe blindly. If in case at the end of the day you find out like, oh, it was just a lie, then well and good, you just believed. uh if you end up finding out like it was the truth, then you're on the safe side. Okay. Vicky says, pre-colonialism, African belief system was and is still the right one in terms of being in perfect harmony with nature plus other humans, saving our planet. Okay. I know. It was so unfair for people to come and tell Africans that like their belief is dirty, is not the right way, is backward, you know. That whole thing of like seeing because Africans couldn't speak in English, because Africans didn't know these languages that the colonizers were speaking. This whole perception of like, because Africans could not do that, their religion was not correct. I feel like I wish they stood on their religion, but how could they? How could they, and they were being colonized? How could they, and they were being enslaved? How could they, and they were being mistreated? Okay, how could they, when somebody came with gifts and told them this is the way, the truth? Okay, how could they, when they were being told like you're not better than us, we are better than you? You know. Gitao Leon says all people have their own religion. If your religion uh, goes, you're a weak people and needs to learn from the strong. Okay, yeah. No, I just see that like we always need something to believe in. It doesn't matter whatever, like we always need something to believe in. Like, we've always believed in something. Okay, even before the coming of Christianity to Africa, before the coming of Christianity to Asia, because before the coming of all these things to different places, we still had things that we were believing in. Is it the right way? We can never say it's the right way, but like, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. I asked a question that like we've been dealing with. Have you ever outgrown someone when it comes to friendship? Okay. uh Most of you are saying yes, some of you are saying like it's like just keep moving if the friendship doesn't work anymore. So I think sometimes it's just like both of you have outgrown each other. It doesn't mean that any one of you is a bad person or a good person, but most of the time it's usually some friendships only work when you're in the same economic level, when you're in the same level mentally, when you're thinking the same way. And when you're not, then it doesn't work. Okay, so let me keep reading your stuff. Vicky says to Moses Mandu, if it wasn't for racism, African belief system would have been given a big credit. Okay, but you know what, still I do believe like right now we are supposed to, okay, I think we are far gone because we have grown up now believing these things, being told these things. Okay, so Vicky, if you don't mind, are you Christian? Do you believe in Christianity? Okay, so we grow up being told who we are, what we are, what we are supposed to believe in, what we believe in. Okay, and at the end of the day, whatever you end up believing in, that's just what it is. We don't know whether it's the right thing to believe in or not. So at the end of the day, something that I'm preaching so much, and like hopefully I'll be able to create the videos that I want. But I would like every person to literally think about the things that we've been introduced to, how you see yourself as a white person. You're disconnected. We are back. Okay. So how you see all these things, so how you see yourself is literally depending on all those things, the religion. Okay. And I want even pastors in African churches, okay, stop being so, what is it called, like the whole digitizing and shoving Christianity in people's mouths. Let people choose what they want to believe in. Guitar Leon says racism had nothing to do with it. We tend to highlight the good parts, but African religions were brutal: polygamy and inheriting wives. Okay, and you know what, I see that, but polygamy and inheriting wives, for me, the inheriting wife is different. I've never had people inheriting wives, or at least in my community, I've never seen people inherit wives. But polygamy was very common. I don't believe it was religion. When it comes to polygamy, it was patriarchy. That men were the one who were controlling the society. Okay, men. Let me tell you, men were brutal back in the day. Like men, they were like, yeah, sorry to say, but like they were literally senseless being. Like, so I don't think that I blame African religions when it comes to polygamy, when it comes to inheriting wives. That was just patriarchy and men being selfish, wanting anything. You want your brother's wife. When your brother dies, you want to sleep with her wife because you've always wanted that. So I think the whole patriarchy was the problem. Okay, even right now it's still a problem. It's not about the religion, it's about patriarchy. Like, it's about men being selfish. It's about men feeling that women are helpless creatures, that women are under them, women are like dirt below their feet. Okay, that's the problem. It was never about religion when it comes to polygamy, when it comes to inheriting wives. Okay, when you look at Islam, where Islamic people or men are allowed to marry 4 wives, and the woman is only allowed to have one. The woman is only allowed to have one man. Okay, can you look at that? Okay, it's not okay for the, in that case, that's their religion, that's what they believe in. But when you look at it like a whole issue, it's not even about the religion. It's about patriarchy. It's about men wanting to control women. It's about men wanting to put women in the same category as children. Okay, because when you look at Islam, women and children are in the same category. Like, women are seen as children, as nothings, like unintelligent creatures. Guitar says, even buying wives, how was that even a thing? Okay, patriarchy. Okay, all the answers that you might ask when it comes to that, like, men were being brutal. And also the way men used to, like, when it comes to African traditions, the way men used to be like, okay, and I know this happens everywhere. Men used to put their hands on their women, but it was so brutal out here. It's like you're disciplining a child. How was that even a thing? How was that even acceptable? Okay, how did we grow up being told, like, learn how to cook, or maybe your husband will put his hands on you? How can I, as a mother, tell a child that? Okay, all these things. I think the whole thing is all about patriarchy. Guitar says Kikuyu inherited the wives of dead brothers. Wow, we never do. I have never had that in my family. Like, nobody inherited. Nobody inherited. Was actually one of my grandfather's brother passed away when the wife was still very young. Okay, and nobody inherited the wife. No one inherited the wife. She stayed in the family. She still continued. The property that was supposed to be given to the husband, she had that with the children. Nobody inherited her. Okay, so that's literally very new for me. That's very new for me, the whole inheriting wives. Very new for me. Moses Mandu says, Vicky, thank you, good point. Okay. Peter Waroi says, hi to you, Peter. Good to see you. Welcome to the live, guys. When you join in, kindly like, subscribe. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. Thank you so much. We've been talking about friendships. We've been talking about friendships, outgrowing friendships, good friendships, what makes a bad friendship, what makes toxicity in friendships, and all those type of things. That's what we've been talking about. So send in your contributions, and also we are getting to the end of the show. If it's been a minute from since the last time I saw you. Hello, good evening, long time, long time. How have you been doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the live. Wow, you just showed up and we are winding up. But wow, good to see you. It's been a minute. Okay, so I think God, today we touched on so many topics. Oh God, today we touched on so many topics. It was all about friendship, but like we could literally have 3 topics in this discussion that we just had right there. Okay, guys, if you're just joining in, kindly like, subscribe. My name is Omboy. We've been talking about friendships and outgrowing friendships, also what good friendships are and all of that. The conversation have been so fruitful. So you guys, if you're just joining in, kindly watch back, like, subscribe. Let me know what are your thoughts. Gitao Leon says, if the father couldn't pay back dowry, the wife married one of the brothers of the family that paid dowry. Wow. Okay. It seems like I am so out of the whole connecting with these things. Wow. Interesting. But maybe some families, I think some families didn't do it because I have never had that in my own family. Like, never heard about that. Vicky says some tribes do inherit, but polygamy has nothing to do with African belief system, though. Okay. But you know what? When it comes to Islam, it has something to do with religion. Okay, it has something to do with religion. It doesn't have anything to do with African religion. It has something to do with patriarchy. It's all about men being selfish. It's all about men wanting everything. It's all about men being so like controlled by their body, lack of self-control. Gitao says patriarchy is enforced by women choosing strong men. I know. Wow. That could be a topic right there. I would like to talk about that. Patriarchy is enforced by women choosing strong men. And I know women, let me tell you, you'll see a good man, a soft man, somebody who is caring and all of that, and women will not choose that. Women will go for a man who puts his hands on them. That's what women are willing to go for. Okay? Unfortunately, let me write that down because I literally would like to talk about that. But I feel like most women, because of being in patriarchy for a long time, you have internalized misogyny. Okay, we have internalized misogyny. Okay, the self-hate. So, and then we project that on fellow women. So I think that's just what happens. It's not like women want to do that. It's just like they've been told about what a strong man is. Like a man is supposed to put your hands on you. He's supposed to do all those things, Wow. Wow. But you know what? You cannot talk about patriarchy without talking about women, because women are the one who've allowed all these things to happen to us. We are the one who have allowed a man to put your hands on you and you're still staying and all those things. God, these have been such a fruitful conversation. I wish we could keep going for another hour and another hour, but real life still awaits outside. Guys, please show up tomorrow for more conversations. I wish we could go on with this conversation tomorrow, but of course we cannot. We will come back with another discussion. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing so that we can keep growing. We can keep sharing stories. We can keep sharing experiences. Ife says, I missed you so much. I missed you too, Ife. Wow, it's been a minute. Thank you for coming back. So catch me tomorrow 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Convert that to your local time and you'll literally find out. Vicky says Islam recommended polygamy. That's true. Still to date, we are still practicing. Okay. I might see what I can come up when it comes to patriarchy. Maybe tomorrow we talk about patriarchy. Okay. But I'm not saying that will be the topic. We'll see what works out. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. And until next time, bye. Okay, gotta see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place.